Manca. Remi Riu. Ecco, grazie. We will start with Antonella Baldino. Very strange interview. You have to... And Remi Riu will be there in a few moments, I'm sure.
Okay. So thank you, and thank you, President Hoyer and President Gordon Tempini, for inviting us to present the Financing Common Summit and the Financing Common Coalition initiative. Here it is, my... And so here we go. And so welcome, Remy.
Please, thank you.
And thank you for joining us, our D20 partners and our guests here today in this wonderful location. I mean, you get lost in this location.
Exactly.
I was thinking this morning arriving that this is a place really evoking the need of building inspirational and well-made infrastructure to hand down for future generation. So, how was made clear during today's conference, infrastructure is a key enabler for global, I can take off this, for global, sustainable and long-term economic and social development, especially in times of crisis. With a counter-cyclical effect, sustainable infrastructure have a crucial role to boost economic growth, but also are a way to shape a more resilient, a more inclusive economy, as well as to boost a greener and a smarter economy. So in this context, public development banks, such as the D20 partners, really do represent key players. We saw this today during the conference. They are long-term investors with a public mandate to provide affordable finance and patient capital to achieve development goals. And these institutions are really able to catalyze public and private finance, being in a way a natural vehicle for public-private partnership, looking to the long-term impact of their actions, both at a domestic and international level. So with the aim of further exploring the role of public development banking in sustainable finance, I have the pleasure, to share this stage with Remi Riu, which is a figure of reference in the Public Development Banks Coalition, the Financing Common. Actually, you are the first promoter of this coalition. And I'm going straight to the point, Remi, at this historical moment where we have learned much, but we still have much to learn in this new perspective of the post-pandemic recovery. Which role do you think the public development banks should or might have?
Thank you very much, Antonella, and good afternoon to everybody. Huge thanks to Cassa Depositi e Prestiti for hosting, organizing, and to the D20 Long-Term Investors Club for the invitation. It's I think, extremely important at this moment in the crisis to meet, to join forces, and to help the recovery, support the G20 presidency, of course, here in Italy in a few weeks. And I see really this event today as a very promising and important milestone. Yes, on the way to the Financing Common Summit we will certainly talk about. Minister Franco, Chairman Tempini, all participants, Werner Hoyer as well, they insisted this morning very strongly on the urgent need for public investments, actually, now. Not for itself, but to unlock private investments and reorient the whole financial sector as rapidly as possible. And so this is the moment where, you're right, Antonella, public banks have a very special role to play, and good news is that they are living some sort of renaissance right now. You know the magnitude of what we are talking about. We have identified now 530 public development banks in the world. 10% are multinational, 70% are national, and there are also 20% of the community that are subnational. So this is this whole vast architecture which amounts $20 trillion combined balance sheet, and about probably more than 10% of all investments on a yearly basis, public and private. And all of us, we know we are rapidly expanding, doubling, sometimes tripling our activities because of the crisis. The US, UK, many countries are thinking again, creating, strengthening their public banks because they need, of course, instrument to intervene, and they are rediscovering the unique role of public banks, which is to bridge short-term and long-term, counter-cyclical and structural, to bridge environment and social, to bridge public and private, of course. This is the thesis of the D20, so important. And also more and more now bridging local and global to have the international priorities reach deeply in our fabric. So somehow this was the role of public banks, in my modest view, was underestimated for decades. We could discuss why, and their voice, I think, has to be strengthened in global governance. This is expected, this is useful, of course, in support of the governments with their budgetary capacity, in support of central banks in charge of monetary policy, of course, to mobilize and help the private sector. So there's a need to gather us all, like today, and like a month from now at the Finance in Common Summit with the whole community.
So thank you for this interesting overview on the landscape of these public development banks, a big family, as you said. Actually, public development banks, according to your interpretation, are really very well placed to play a major role in mobilizing increasing amount of finance and having this ability also to strike a new balance maybe between the public sector and the private sector, the logic of donors and the logic of market players. So now going and focusing on the role of this coalition that, I mean, you are the first promoter, I mean, with a wide then group of national promotional institutions and development finance institutions, focusing on the role of these financing common coalitions, which is in a way an infrastructure to have a better interconnection and coordination among public development banks. How you think this coalition, this movement of public development banks can help each institution to better implement its mandate and how also can help their stakeholders in pursuing their targets?
So two years ago, colleagues within the IDFC, so Gunther was there, Eche, Dario, I mean all colleagues, we had an idea which is to create a place where we would all gather. The hundreds I was talking about. So we tried it last year. It was the first Finance in Common summit, mid-November 2020, and well, it was really extremely interesting, and there was, even at the heart of the COVID crisis, a sense of community and the real momentum. The UN Secretary General was extremely interested, present. Several leaders participated, and we succeeded in first publishing, you can refer to it, the first comprehensive database. So the figures I was mentioning are coming from this database we will refine next month. We also all agreed through our associations to join a joint declaration, which is, you can read it, rather ambitious, actually, on many issues. There were about 12 thematic coalitions that were launched at that time and that are making progress. We will be accountable to it in a few weeks. And so I think it created a sort of consensus that could be extremely helpful for what we have to achieve in the coming years. So that's for 2020, the launch. Of course, high expectations for the second edition of the Finance in Common, 19th and 20th of October here in Rome, at the invitation of Cassa Depositi e Prestiti, in partnership with IFAD, Roman colleagues, and with all of us present. We will, the first day, the 19th, will be devoted to agriculture, agribusiness, food security, adaptation to climate change, nature, biodiversity, this set of issues that is so important, that is a market failure, historic, at the origin of the creation of so many public banks. So a new coalition will emerge from that. We hope, yes, Antonella, to further structure the coalition of all public banks, but also to explore more deeply the connections with the other stakeholders. So the other stakeholders are the private sector, so there will be a slot with investors. The other stakeholders are the donors, philanthropists, grant agencies, governments, and also the civil society, of course, which is very interested in what, as you know, in what public banks are doing. So we have to distinguish, I would say, the Finance in Common coalition. This is the group of all public banks, and the Finance in Common movement, which is, of course, not the public banks for themselves, but in their capacity to mobilize others. Many events on climate, biodiversity, social investment, vaccines maybe, and health issues, where we trade finance, where we want to provide a contribution. And I hope that we will make a useful contribution to the presidency of the G20. I mean, the place is up to grab. It's up to mobilize, incentivize as a sort of global, very ambitious and large, I would say, combined, again, balance sheet for the G20 and the governments. There's this discussion in the air about innovative use of SDRs. You know, many multilateral development banks are eligible prescribed holders of SDR. Is there something to invent here to speed up the recovery? So all these issues will come here in Rome, thanks to you, Antonella. And you know, there will be also 2022 to move forward. And I don't know if Werner already shared it, but EIB and the African Development Bank already expressed their willingness to host Finance in Common in 2022, making the movement even more successful with the support of multilateral development banks as our regional platforms worldwide. Thank you.
So thank you, Rémi, for this overview on this ecosystem of public development banks, their approach and their ambitions. I mean, in this facing these global challenges that we have been also describing during today's conference, public development banks really turn out to be an opportunity to strengthen the international development finance architecture and also to increase the financial flows directed towards the 2030 agenda targets and the Paris Agreement commitments. So at Cassa Depositi e Prestiti, we fully embrace this approach, of course, and we share this value, which are the very cornerstone of our common strategy. And with this spirit, we are proud, I mean, to host the second edition of the Financing Common Summit, as was announced by Rémi. This summit will be held in Rome on the 19th and 20th of October under the auspices of the G20 Italian presidency. And hosting this summit during and in the context of the G20 will really allow us to highlight the possible crucial role of public development banks as a financial arm for the implementation of international commitments taken by the governments multilaterally. So a few details about the structure of this summit. The Financing Common Summit will involve partners from all over the world, from public development banks. We are more than 500, to government representative, international organizations, private sector, and civil society. The first day of the summit will be mainly focused on agriculture, agribusiness, and sustainable food systems, sector that really sit at the nexus of many economic, social, and environmental issues. Cross-cutting, I would say also cross-cutting topics that interconnect a wide range of global priority issues, from food security and nutrition to biodiversity and climate change, and at the same time represent a key enabler for the wide range of SDG, from SDG 1, no poverty, to the SDG 17, really the partnership for the goal. And the second day of the summit, will be focused on the action of the Financing Common Coalition, reporting the results achieved, but also announcing new ambitions vis-à-vis the commitment made last year during the first edition of the summit. This will also be the occasion to explore and to discuss the most topical issues for the international development finance community today, addressing the need for a rapid transition to an economic model that combines growth with resilience and development, with the preservation and I would say also the promotion of global public goods. To amplify also the impact of these commitments, the second day of the summit also envisages leaders' dialogue, where head of state and government and high representative of international institutions will gather to discuss the contribution of the Financing Common Coalition to other international fora, and particularly the COP26 and the next G20 summit. So, to conclude, Rémi, I think that we both, together with all my colleagues from CDP, under the leadership of our president and the CEO and our CEO, we are really, I mean, glad to invite all of you to follow this major global event It will be the venue where the global development finance community can really map out the way forward toward achieving the 2030 agenda and the Paris Agreement target. So I thank you for your attention and looking forward for your participation to the summit. Arrivederci a Roma.
Thank you, Antonella. Thank you, Dario.